Well, hello, folks. This is Fat Guy Flies RC coming to you from the man cave. Well, got in the mail. I saw this debut, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago on YouTube, and one of my email alerts said there was a new HOBBYKING jet. I'm like, hey, let me check it out. And it's the FlyCat. Now, I've always wanted the original FlyCat. Missed it back when it was available, and my flying skills were nowhere near good enough, or at least I didn't think so, and I never got it. Well, now I said, man, I wish they'd come back with that, and I've even been looking, trying to find one of them version 1s, but never could find it, and found one for General Hobby for $240 some odd plus shipping. I'm like, I was getting ready to think, well, I might just buy that, and then lo and behold, HOBBYKING came out with their new version. I'm like, hey, and for a lot cheaper, for $219, and what I understand, that's the introductory price. It's going to go up. And free shipping. So I'm like, heck yeah. And it's got rudders, and it's got a gear, which are all the upgrades that people were modding the version 1 to do. And it's got a cool new paint scheme. So 70mm jet, let's check it out. She doesn't have flaps, but she does have thrust reverses. I throw the knife at you. Okay, as you can see, first time getting in the box. And HOBBYKING doesn't go out of their way to make fancy boxes. They just have plain boxes with one sticker there. Alright, she's got a 12-blade inrunner. Good. 6S power system, electric retracts, dual rudders, compact size, wingspans of 1,042 millimeters, length is 1,115 millimeters. 70mm blade. The motor's a 2100 kV with a 2860, 80 amp EOC, 80 amp Aerostar, their Gen 2 with the reversing. 6 9-gram high-speed servos, and the batteries a 3000 to a 5000 6S. I'll more than likely be running a 4000. Okay, everything is taped down. Alright, we won't go flying around everywhere. So all your bits and bobs. Okay. Let me get everything out of the box, then we'll take it, yeah. The wings, try not to cut into my wings with my knife here. Man, somebody went crazy with the tape gun today. Very nice. That's your quick setup guide. CG is 510 millimeters back from the nose. Not the leading edge of the wing, but actually from the nose. Which is interesting. And you will have to glue a lot of this plane together. Very nice finish. I mean, that is, this thing's set in the mold for a while in the heat and really cooked. They got nice and firm. I got a little bit of gator in there, a little bit of heat, but that's all right. Looks like got ball links there, pretty stout ball links. Hinge looks like it's got some sort of material beyond being a pinch hinge. Maybe it's a pinch hinge, but I think, well, I don't see laminate. It may just be a pinch hinge and then the paint from the green. So I'm going to probably have to do some hinge treatment on that. Very thick. Very thick. I mean, that little winglet there. Look how thick that is. Alright. Time to change blades on my razor blades. Getting dull. Very nice. hard plastic points there. Lost connection for some reason. All right. Got this tray here. Got the one of the two booms here. Very nice. Oh, got like I don't know if that's like a hardened skid point or what that is, or why that's different there. So it doesn't feel like just put like foam there. Maybe it's something I glue on there. Plenty of surface area there for the glue. Yeah, that's just a pinch hinge. There's no laminate. Oh wait, yeah, there is a little bit of laminate, just a little bit. Not a whole lot. I probably still do some reinforcement. I think it'll be okay for now, though. Make sure there's nothing in that. This is where you'll make your connection for the elevator. And it's got the locking style, or one of the types of locking style servo connectors, so you don't have to worry about big old dent right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Big dent. Well, it's, you know. I like the fact that all the servos, everything's already hooked up for you. I like that. And last but not least is the fuselage that is welded in there. Alright, they've got it in a foam, these cradles, but these cradles are glued in to the box. So I hate to cut that foam, but that's what I'm going to have to do. Not the plain foam, obviously, but the protection foam. Okay. The fuselage. Now I like the fact that all the retracts and everything are within this piece here. I like that. And I like that this cheater is kind of cool looking, the way it kind of dips in. And of course you got these huge cheaters on the side. Big old fan back there. And I like the fact that's plastic. Of course, with the tail, you're not going to be able to set it. Oh, but the nose is plastic too. This whole section of nose is plastic, so I can definitely set it in the corner on its nose, and that's not going to hurt it. Now, what is this section here? I'm going to assume that's to get to the fan. That's to get to the ESC. So it's probably magnetic in there. Yep, it's magnetic. And that way you can get your ESC. Now, watching Model Aviator, and he said make sure you put some tape on this or something to secure it whenever, because whenever you give reverse thrust, it'll blow this hatch, which I can see where that would be an issue. Okay, so the fan is... Okay. And then you got access through the bottom to the ESC there, because you know what I'll be adding to this plane is a KM model afterburner. All right. All right. Let's get in the... All right, got a magnet there. Pretty strong magnet, but you have to grab that and squeeze it to get a hold of it. So I'll be doing the antenna mod. So that all I have to do is pull the antenna and pull the thing out without having to touch it and get my oily fingers all over it. Kind of a narrow, not much space in there. I mean, it's kind of narrow. You got all kinds of space to go forward. Okay. XT90 connector, which I've got adapters for that. And everything is labeled. Okay, let's see. And you got the okay, you got the ESC throttle with the telltale yellow wire. That's for the reversing. You got gear, rudder, elevator, and aileron. So put those out of the way, and that's all the room you got in there. Big honking strap there. So, all right. Alrighty, well, let's get to building. All right, well, thank you so much. That's the unboxing. We'll be right back, and we're going to start assembling this bad boy, so hold on. All right, got everything out of the box now, and let's go ahead and show you real quick how you're going to be assembling everything. This, mainly the entire plane glues together, okay? And because I'm not going to show me gluing, because that's going to be time consuming, I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do now that I've reviewed everything, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to start off with your fuselage here, and you're going to take all 4, set this down, of these wooden trays, okay? Now in this little baggie, you've also got your screws, okay? So don't lose those. That's why I put them on a magnetic tray. That's only 4 screws, and they're Phillips head screwdriver. They're all the same, okay? But you're going to take these wooden trays, these little wooden tabs here, and they're all exactly the same. You're going to take your model, okay? And you're going to place one in each one of those. And then you're going to take these little foam blocks, okay? And they only fit one way, and put each one and glue each one of those in place. Do the same thing the other side, okay? Then you're going to take the appropriate boom, like in this case, it would be this one here, making sure that you remember that you have this channel here, that right here, where your wires are going to have to sit. Okay, I'm going to take your boom, run that through the boom. Well, if it was glued in place, that wouldn't happen. Okay, put all that in place. Now slide in the boom, glue that on, and then you're going to slide in the appropriate wing, and then they'll attach. The screws will go through the top of the plastic, through that, and then secure within themselves inside that wing, securing that wing on. And then with the 2 booms on, okay, you'll fish, because there'll be a little bit of give, you'll fish each of those booms apart just a little bit, enough to slide that in place, the elevator in place, glue that in place, and then make the connection with the servo over here, on this end here. All right, let me do all that, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back. All right, got her all put together. Now there's some things I got her all set up in the radio too, but we'll go over all the radio settings and everything at the field, because lately what I've been wanting to do is fly it and then say, okay, here's what I flew it in. That way, when you see the settings and I tell you the settings and everything, you just saw it in action. So therefore, it's correct and been proven, and that's why I want to do that. All right, now I did add my zip tie mod that I've talked about. Okay, I do have the space for the GNS performance analyzer in there. Okay, we'll go over CG and everything in just a second. Make sure that the wires for the ailerons, you route them through. There's some little channels in there. Make sure you route them through before you glue on your booms, and then slide your wings in and screw them down. There's only 4 screws for this plane. Screw them down. Test fit everything first, just to be on the safe side, and make sure that your all your control surfaces, use a servo tester like I did, okay, and make sure all the control surfaces are working, all the servos are working before you glue everything in, because once you glue everything in, you're pretty well, that's it, okay? Now, another thing you're going to need, if you watch Model Aviator's channel, something he did, and I ran into the same problem, you're going to want to shave, if you look really close, okay, you're going to want to shave some material off there, because when that gear goes up, that arm will sometimes catch on that foam, okay, and like especially if you're turned, watch, goes fine now, see how it kind of binds, turn it the other way, and no problem, okay, so if you just leave it set, leave it in the middle, when you take it up, you shouldn't have an issue. But if for whatever reason you're turning, like when you go around a turn, you're bringing your gear up in a turn, the gear may bind. So kind of like the Rafale, the FMS Rafale has that same issue. Real quick, CG is 510 millimeters back from the very nose tip, and that puts it right here. If you look for your I have these little black dots here. And I got put 510 on there. Okay, now I put these little glue points on there, just hard hot glue, and it's 510 millimeters back, and she CG's basically perfect right there. All right, already got the KM model afterburner installed. The only other thing I'm going to be doing is giving her a clear coat, but I cannot stress enough, test fit everything first, okay, before you commit to glue. I used Gorilla brand hot glue. Hot glue works great on foam, and to me it works just as well as epoxy and everything. And you can use alcohol to debond it, just like with CA glue and other glues. You use debonder to undo that kind of stuff. You can use alcohol to debond foam or a hot glue. Some of the decals were kind of coming up, okay, but that's no big deal because my my clear coat will take care of that. Tape down this hatch, because when you give it reverse thrust, some of that force is going to come up. There's just a tiny little magnet holding that in place. So Model Aviator had a really good point there when his just blew right off. So therefore, I put some clear Scotch tape on that so that won't blow off when the reverse thrust. Like I said, we'll go over that kind of stuff after the maiden for the rates. Just to let you know, I have everything set up by the book, and just to share it with you now, because I'm going to forget these numbers. High rate on the rudder is 23 millimeters. High rate on the elevator is 30 millimeters, and high rate on the aileron is 16 millimeters. And I'll just go ahead and show that to you as far as the rates. Okay, but this is set up by the books, and this is what it looks like, what that physically looks like. Okay, the aileron at high of 16 looks like that. Okay, 16 millimeters. The rudder at high rate of 23 looks like that, and then the high rate on the elevator of 30 looks like that. Okay, everything appeared to be perfectly trim, with the exception of one of the rudders. I had to undo the ball link, pull it, unscrew or tighten up the ball link by about 3 or 4 turns in order to get both the elevator or both the rudders even with each other. But other than that, just a good looking plane. Everything seems to work really, really well. The only thing I don't like about is when you put the gear up, a lot of this rudder or the nose gear hangs out. Okay. See, all that's kind of hanging out. So if you belly land this thing, even though there's going to be on the booms, that grass and dirt's going to rip right through that. And you're going to have, probably won't break it, but it could, because of this dam structure right here, but it will get a lot of dirt up in there. Okay. But yeah, and I wouldn't, now that you got gear, there's no real point in belly landing it. But the nice thing, this is fairly thick wires and it's very short. Okay, it's very short. So you're not going to have, you shouldn't have any real issue with this braking. This is very short, so it's going to be strong. Thought about adding suspension gear, but I don't think I'm going to worry about it because I'd have to mod everything. And I'm going to let her go the way she is. She looks good, and I think I'm going to be very, very pleased with it. All the ball links seem to be nice and secure on there. And just make sure of yours. They're all metal. Everything's metal except, of course, the big ball hump itself, whatever that connecting part. It's plastic, but it's very hardy. Everything seems to be very, very hardy. So, alrighty. Can't wait to fly it. Hopefully today we'll be able to get her out. This is the middle of the night. Here it is. I can't see. I'm getting old. It is the 23rd of February. Sunday, and about 3 o'clock in the morning. Hopefully we'll get it out today, later this afternoon, and get you a flight. All right, we're also going to do a speed test on with the GNS Performance Analyzer. Oh yeah, and the placement on the battery to get that perfect 510 CG, which I'll show this in the maiden also, is basically 2 finger lengths in. Okay, about 2 finger lengths in. And you can see I've marked it right there, 4K back. So there's plenty of room for a 4K, and you may have a little bit of bounce in the nose, but I think we'll be just fine. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching. God bless y'all. That's the unboxing, the build, kind of a hybrid build overview, and then my basic setups, just to show you the factory settings on rates. All right, y'all have a good. Next time you see it, we'll be at the field. God bless y'all. Don't forget, faith, family, and friends. God is good. And that is the Hobby King FlyCat version 2. Bye, y'all.